Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And, well, as you can obviously hear right now, have some background music going. Haven't done that in a little while, folks, and the reason on why is me and him, we have had our differences, and we have gone and we butted heads, and we were rivaling for a good while. Me and Oliver Ben, we were, but he is now helping and endorsing and helping sponsor this show, as well as all of the lovely facilities here at the Vicious Studios, and as such asked me to help promote his music. So folks, and in all honesty, really give his stuff a listen. It is good. He's out there, Spotify, Xbox, iTunes. He's on there. He's there as Oliver Rewind Benji, and it's Rewind spelled R-E'-Y-N-D. And Ollie, I hope I got that spelt out right on there for you. But yeah, he is out there on there. Make sure y'all look him up. Does some really good tunes, and any indie guys that are out there working, instead of using like the same Def Leppard or Disturbed songs all the time, hey, give my boy Ollie Ben a shout out on Twitter at Oliver Ben. Let him know that I sent you, and ask him if he'll do a track for you. Won't be a problem. So, moving on with this week's show. We are talking about Raw. It was in Washington, and I gotta say, it was a pretty kind of Raw. I mean, give the final score now. I give it a 5.5 out of 10. Raw started out, Seth, J&J, and Kane came out. They all came out looking good and strong. Seth handling the mic, excuse me, gloating over on how they all wound up taking down Brock Lesnar, and showed his thanks to the Authority for J&J and Kane for coming back and working with them by giving them various gifts. One being, he gave J&J and Kane all Apple Watches, which kind of funny because a little bit of useless information. Well, Joey Mercury has sleeves on his arms, and the Apple Watch doesn't work on areas of the skin that have tattoos. They're still working on that issue. And probably a part that made me chuckle and bust out laughing was Jamie Noble saying that when they get into the back, they're going to take a group selfie over it and to celebrate him. Boy, I really hope they don't do the kind of selfie Seth took with Zahara, because, man, he's getting so much heat from that. He wound up legitimately getting banned from a festival in New York because the one singer in a band there was going around dating that chick Zahara when they were still swapping pictures and all, and too much baby mama drama kind of shit. Ain't looking for that. Get back to the matter at hand. Focus on wrestling. And then he came over, said, Kane, when you debuted, people were still using dial-up internet. JR and Jerry Lawler were on commentary. At least I think he said that. Either way, they still were. And he was saying Paul Heyman was a fat, lazy slob and all that. And Seth, don't you go messing with my savior right there. Because guarantee, the beast will wind up coming for you. But then he said, I'm going to reward you, and I'm going to do the one thing no one has ever done for you before, and that is let you have a vacation. Pull down that, and then next thing you know, showed a fabulous trip to Fire Island. Wait, that was what Vince had in mind for Darren Young. Never mind. Scratch that. Instead, he's going to go to Hawaii. So, yeah. And, yeah. So, next thing you know, out came some hula dancers and Cabana fanboys and such. Anyway, so before we go on vacation now, we're going to just do one thing. We're going to make sure you leave with a win. So, me and you tonight versus Dean and Roman Reigns in a no DQ match. Okay. And then he came down and had J&J also get a new car. And it was a brand new Cadillac. It cost like, oh shit, it costs more than what I'd make in a year with overtime. So, yeah, whatever. You know, if anything, the biggest surprise on that was the fact that Mick Foley's daughter was the Price is Right girl doing that kind of crap for the car. I don't know, I can't do it. You know, moving along though, first match tonight we get Big Show versus Mark Henry. Oh. Well, this is definitely going to be original, beyond all means, right? You know, if you go back and watch this, if you play back that past part, you can actually see the exact moment my heart wound up just breaking and going into a million pieces thinking of Big Show versus Mark Henry. Oh, and Miz was on commentary. Yeah. Anyways, this was way too quick of a match, even for an opener match. And not only that, you know, Big Show, I don't know if it was anyone else, it may have just been me, but it looked like Big Show was seriously overselling those stomps Henry did. It was like, he put the stomps in, and then next thing you know, Big Show was like, oh, you know, you obviously, you want to sell and you want to make it look good, but dude, don't oversell it, you know? And Joe, you've been around for a good while, and I mean a good while, you know? So don't do that kind of crap. You know, but anyways, like I said, too quick of a match. Show wound up getting the win with the KO. And then after that, Ryroyd wound up coming down, Joy. And, well, actually I should mention, yeah, Ryroyd came down, ran his mouth, and then we got the ball bag versus Ryroyd. Joy. No real story behind that match right there, you know? It didn't make any sense to me, you know? And it probably the biggest thing that confused me, and everyone, and I mean everyone, blew it out there on Twitter. And here, part of the production crew, our intern, Rocky, will help demonstrate this. Ryroyd had Miz up, and instead of in a vertical suplex like this, had him up in a position where it looked like where Miz was teabagging him. And not like up here on his head, but like right here directly on his face, like he was rubbing Miz, like he was having the actual ball bag go up against the side of his face. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna need a new intern now, given that. Oh boy. Wade, can you start making some calls for interns? Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, anyways, as far as with this match went, it was Miz after getting too much of a beating, he just like, you know what, he wound up doing like Cartman with, screw you guys, I'm going home, and just ran off and and so Ryroyd got a count out win. Yeah. Next match up. It was a women's match. We had Alicia Fox, you know, because Alicia Fox wound up doing a Dudley thing and became the Bella's step sister, versus Paige. And yeah, this was actually the first half decent match of the night. You know, I was pretty into it because I was happy that Alicia came off looking pretty good and pretty strong. You know, and not in that obvious, I'm gonna dominate the first 90. I'm gonna dominate 99.9% of this match until you get the upper hand and win. You know, it looked like she was actually coming off legitimately good, which, you know, always big philosophy. You're gonna do a squash match, obvious, you're gonna need to, but have the guy that's doing the job look good. You know, don't have them just go out there, dominate a majority of the match, and then you just miraculously hulk up and then wham, land that winning shot in. You know, no. It doesn't make that guy look good. You want to have your opponent, if your opponent's doing a job, you want to have them look good, and you want to make them look just as good as they're making you. That's always been my philosophy on doing the jobs. And trust me, I spent the good 6 to 8 years as a jobber. You know? So that's always been my philosophy on it. Now, next up, it was Cena doing the US Open Challenge. He came down to the ring. Normally, he does a promo to hype it up. This time he didn't. Second he got into the ring, next thing you know, Owen's music hits and he just walks down and everyone's just like, holy shit, oh, holy shit, 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 are we gonna get this now? We're gonna get this on Raw, it's gonna be on free TV! And then once the bell rings, Owens just climbs out of the ring and says, whoa, I'm not fighting you tonight. So, there we go. Kevin Owens wound up doing his ever infamous wound up being Kevin Owens to his fullest. Said, I'm not going to fight you, but this guy will. And then came out Cesaro, and yes, this was definitely what we needed. You know, like I said before, huge fan of Cesaro. I am very much so like Cesaro, like my buddy Bingus on Twitter is with Billy Gunn. And if you don't know who Bingus is, shame on you. Look him up. You know? But yeah, this was definitely this was hands down match of the night. Match of the frickin' night. Owens was on commentary, and Owens actually, dude, I swear to God, if Owens wasn't a wrestler, I would want him on commentary all the time. Because he doesn't wind up talking like he's getting fed something into his ear every 20 seconds. You know? And it was actually, he was coming off good, and he was coming off like he should, as a heel that is looking to hurt. You know? As far as what this match goes, I loved it. Now, this was a great match. You know, it was big ups to Cesaro for still wearing the best team ever gear, even though Kid is out. And as far as with Kid, for those who don't know on why he's out, he had to get surgery on his neck, and it was the same kind of surgery that Kurt Angle and Steve Austin and even Edge had to get. So, fingers crossed that it doesn't mean he's going to be wrestling on borrowed time from here on out, and that he's going to be coming back within a decent time. You know? But, as far as what that goes, either way, back to the matter at hand, this was really good and really solid. These two have had matches before, and Cesaro definitely deserves a push. The man should be, you know, if not a main event champion, then a guy chasing after the main event title, because he is that damn good. And he is the most underutilized talent on the roster. No doubt about that. If I'm wrong on it, by all means, feel free to question and ask me on that down below in the comments, or on Twitter at Tim Vicious, or on my Facebook gimmick Tim Ash. You know? But this match, you know, of anything, probably one of the biggest shockers was the fact on Cesaro countering the STF into a sharpshooter, wrenched it in right, and then next thing you know, a pop-up uppercut, pop-up European uppercut, you know, as well as neutralizer and a sharpshooter, and Cena doing a freaking, again, a Canadian destroyer. Just, this is the kind of Cena that we have been needing. You know, if we could get Cena competing like this on a regular basis, I guarantee fans out there, and I'm not talking wrestling fans like me or my crew, you know, where we'll crack jokes, but you know, we give credit where credit's due. You know, I'm talking like those Smarky McSmarkertons IWC punks will go and be like, oh, well, yeah, he did good there. Yeah, no shit, he did good there. You know? But yeah, if he wrestled like that more often, guarantee you wouldn't have those Smarky McSmarkertons constantly complaining on him. Yeah? Only thing I can really say that was a gripe for me was Cesaro kicking out of the springboard stunner and Cena kicking out of the neutralizer. Or not the neutralizer, when Cesaro wound up just constantly with every move he had on him. You know, but yeah, kicking out of the springboard stunner, again, stop kicking out of finishes so easily. And stop having to throw out of a finisher so easily. You know? And I've brought this up before, and I'm not trying to make this about me, but unfortunately, this show gets recorded at the witching hours, so nobody's willing to want to go and do this with me at that time. So I got to use myself as an example. My finisher, plain and simple. Boom. DDT. Just like Jake Roberts or Tommy Dreamer. I also did the submission. Also did a submission, the Taz mission, just like that. You know, I would go hit the DDT and go for a pin, or sometimes hit the DDT and then lock the Taz mission in. You know, but never did anyone kick out of the DDT. The reason on why, and I've brought it up before, have the guys sell the move. The move will not get over unless the crowd puts it over, and the crowd will not put it over if it's constantly just being kicked out, just like if it's as simple of a move as a clothesline or a snap mirror. Seriously, we need to start putting more of an emphasis on a finishing move being an effective finishing move. Now, I'm all for if you want to get a pinfall just out of doing a random move. Like, if a DDT's not your normal move, you hit that and then next thing you know, you get a win. Or if you do a clothesline and get a win. Okay. But don't go, if your finisher is a crossbody, you know, don't go doing that and then having everyone kick out of it until you hit it on somebody like 3 or 4 times. As far as with this match goes, Cena wound up winning by DQ though, because what it was, Cesaro, he wound up hitting the neutral. He hit the neutralizer, then did the Cesaro swing, and then after that he locked in the sharpshooter again and had it locked right in the middle of the ring. Looked like Cena was just about to tap out, and then Owens ran right on in, decked Cesaro, gave him a pop-up powerbomb, and then gave Cena a pop-up powerbomb. You know, and that's kind of a good thing because it still gets Cesaro over because he didn't take a loss to Cena like that. He took a dirty loss to a heel. Where's the harm in that? You know? And Cena still comes off strong in a sense because he's still going up against the big bad Kevin Owens. You know? So, it works out. Next matchup, 8-man tag match. Primetime players in the Lucha Dragons versus New Day and Bo Dallas. And, well, if you kind of look at New Day and Bo Dallas, you know, not to be that guy, but if you look at a picture of them together and then look at a picture of the Nation when Owen was on there, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Moving along though, this was actually, this was really hard to follow. This was the match that, you know, I felt sorry for more than anything, because this match had to follow that Cena and Cesaro match. You know, it was really hard to it was really hard to like follow up with. You know, the crowd was just so emotionally caught up into that one that I'm pretty sure that they were just emotionally drained during this one. So it was just like, yay? Yay? Oh, there's my guy going in now. Yay? You know, it is what it is, but unfortunately that was the bad side on it. I mean, it's Bo. He did good playing up with the whole primetime players. You know, he looked like all he needed was a set of blue trunks and he'd have belonged with them. You know? And hey, who knows? Maybe he will soon enough. You know? A whole bunch of different random ideas I've spewed out on here wound up happening. In which case, hey, WWE, I'm still waiting for the royalties for those creative ideas. You know? By all means, feel free to hit me up for that check. But yeah, Darren really took most. It looked like Darren really took most of the beating on this, which was, you know, it's again not to sound so wrong or anything, but really you want to have the gay guy be the one that's taking all the beating after all the news about with the whole equality and same-sex marriage being legal all across the U.S. now. And dude, really? I don't know. Just felt kind of flaky to me. But anyways, once Kofi got in, that's when it just looked like, there we go, match is going on home. Kofi got on in, started doing good, tagged out, and then got tagged back in, was going against Titus, got up to the top rope, jumped up, Titus caught him just like that, and was like, bitch. Wham! Threw him down, gave him that spine buster, and good Lord almighty. Got the 1, 2, 3 from that, and dude, like I said, Titus O'Neil, he is another guy that should be a top player in the main event scenes. You know, look, mic skills, you know, he's got the look, he's got the ring skills, he's got the mic work, and he is big and scary, you know? I mean, yeah. Anyways, next matchup, it was Neville versus Sheamus. Yeah, the crowd started chanting boring, you know, partway through the match, especially after Sheamus was yelling, "Are you not entertained?" Which, hey, I kind of give him credit, you know. I give Sheamus credit. He feeds into the crowd when they go and do that, because they were doing boring, boring. Next thing he was like, "Wait, what's that? I can't hear you." Feeding into it, which, hey, that was pretty good, you know. Don't let it get to you, you know. Work with it like, oh, hey, you think it's boring? What's that? I can't hear you. You know? But it was definitely digging Sheamus' aggressiveness lately. Yeah, he's coming off really good, really strong. And again, a lot of people are bitching about him being Money in the Bank winner. I don't see the downside on it, especially if Brock does win against Seth and Sheamus cashes in. Dude, Brock Lesnar versus Sheamus, who is going to complain on that? Because both guys can work. Both guys can draw. You're pretty much literally going to have Titan versus Titan right there in the middle of a ring, and it's just gonna be, you know? Yeah. But as far as what this goes, you know, Neville, he was putting up a good match. He put up a good match. I feel kind of sorry for him though, still, because again, the creative still hasn't figured out exactly what to do with him yet. You know, they can't have him go and chase after a title. The Intercontinental one's being occupied with that little three-way group. He can't go and chase after the U.S. title. Excuse me. Can't go and chase after the U.S. title. It's currently being occupied by the NXT champ and Cena. Can't go after the tag titles. He doesn't have anyone to tag with. They gave him something with Bo that went about as well as being drunk at an AA meeting. You know? And it's seriously, yeah, they don't have nothing going for him yet. He's a draw, yeah, and he's worth putting on TV, but they don't know what to do with him yet, it seems, and it's kind of sad. But moving on with the match, this is a fairly decent match. Biggest gripe can say was right at the end when Sheamus was down. Neville went to go line up for the bro kick, or not the bro kick. Yep, Neville went. Get my words all jumbled up. Fuck. Oh, what the fuck. But Neville went to go line up for the Red Arrow, and you could see Sheamus getting ready to go and set up to stop it by curling his legs up like that. Which, dude, yeah, no. That just seemed that that does not go. It just felt too telegraphed for me, and blah, 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 fuck! Get my words jumbled up and shit. Yeah. Okay, I don't know why I did that second one to myself, but either way. Don't you even think about slapping me. That's better. Next matchup, it was Barrett versus, of all people, Jack Swagger. Swagger finally came back on the TV, which, hey, I'm all for. You know, I said before, I like Swagger. You know, it's just the biggest issue I have with him is he's missing that one piece that don't really know. You know, I mean, he can work the ring like there's no problem. He's got a good figure on him. You know, it's like he's missing that one last piece to have the total it factor. You know, but either way, this Swagger, he came off way too aggressive in this, and this was way too fat, coming off way too fast of a pace for him, you know. I didn't like that. I didn't like that, you know. It didn't seem right. You know, it seemed, not to say that he does a slow methodical pace, but this seemed like this was a gear or two faster than what he normally does, if that makes sense. You know, but, you know, Barrett, he wound up getting the win with the bullhammer, got the 1, 2, 3, you know. So next up, it was main event time. Roman and Dean versus Seth and Kane, no DQ tag match. Biggest gripe on this was, you know, they all come down, next thing you know, we get chaos, and then go to commercial. Not complaining about the commercial thing, even though I could, but complaining about the fact of that they wound up having, right when after they came back from commercial, teams on respective corners. A no DQ tag match where you have your teams in respective corners. The entire freaking match short from the end. Really? How does that make sense? You know? Not only does that not make sense, there was not 1 ounce of heat drawn from going from Seth and Kane onto Dean and Roman, or vice versa. And, you know, legitimately, need the heat. Need the heat for the matches. You know? Need the heat for the matches and for the rivalries. Build them up. You know? As far as what this goes, though, also it didn't really have a no DQ feel. You know? I mean, the biggest thing came when Roman, he was throwing Superman punches at anything that was pretty much breathing, short from Dean Ambrose. Next thing you know, Lights did the whole thing, and then next thing you know, Bray came out. Bray got him, slammed him on the knee announce table. He was down for it. He was down for the count. And then next thing you know, Dean wound up taking the loss. He got chokeslammed and pedigreed, and then that was on how they got the 1, 2, 3. And then just as they're getting ready to line up for having Dean get plowed through a table, Roman got his second win, started clearing house, and then they all came back in. Then Seth, Kane, J&J came in, started all swinging at him, and then they powerbombed Roman through the table. And after that, Bray came back out, picked him up, wham, Sister Abigail'd him. So yeah, that was where the heat was, which legitimately was good, you know? So, while I did gripe about that, about there not being heat between them two for the match, I am thankful at the very least that there was heat going leading to Bray and Roman's match coming up, you know? So, like I said, all in all, I give this Raw a 5.5 out of 10, you know? So, folks, and that's all the time we got for this week's show. So, like all normal, do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch the other episodes, look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Make sure y'all also check out my backup account, Tim_Vicious, as well as my Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. Also, do not forget to go and check out my boy Ali Ben's music that is ever so graciously playing right here. And easy enough way, look for the man right there on YouTube. Like I said, he is also out there, Xbox and iTunes. iTunes is Oliver Rewind Benji. You know, any indie guys out there. Also, like I said, if you're watching this show, whether you liked it or hated it, give the boy Ali Ben a shout. Just that way, if you're sick of just having the same old generic music for your entrance, you know, can set you up with something original. And as well as, folks, do not forget to follow all of these cool ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls, I am Danny Sunday, Monkey Moss, Axel Mulligan, Sunday Segway, Sinfully Sabrina, Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, the man himself, Oliver Ben, Just a Stupid Mark. Also, don't forget to check out Ollie Ben's and Mask Mark's show, the Paint and Mask Show, as well as my client, who, as I have said before, is the true Raw General Manager, Bronx Bitch Forever. And, folks, like I always tell y'all, if you love me, great, you hate me, fuck yous.